بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. Surah Al Nur, verse 35. الله نور السماوات والأرض مثل نوره كمشكاة فيها مصباح المصباح في زجاجة الزجاجة كأنها كوكب دري يوقد من شجرة مباركة زيتونة لا شرقية ولا غربية يكاد زيتها يضيء ولو لم تمسسه نار نور على نور يهدي الله لنوره من يشاء.
وتلك الأمثال نضربها للناس وما يعقلها إلا العالمون.
In this beautiful verse, the verse of Nur, the verse that exemplifies and describes the Nur of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, an example is given. This verse is considered to be one of the most powerful passages of the Qur'an and also one of the most sophisticated ones, because this has to do directly with one of the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that is the Nur of Allah. Generally speaking, we are not in a position to speak too much about the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in terms of describing them ourselves, but rather we refer to what Allah azza wa jal has said about Himself. Like the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to say, Allahumma la uhsi thana'an alayk, anta kama athnayta ala nafsik. O Allah, I cannot completely praise you and glorify you. You are as you have praised yourself. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is praising Himself and describing this attribute of Nur. Allahu nuru samawati wal ard. Allah is the Nur, the light. Now light is one translation of Nur. But the fact is that the Nur of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala transcends the meaning of light as we know it. Because this Nur of Allah that is being referred to in this verse, it covers many different aspects of illuminating. One is the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings things to light. So one of the meanings of Nuru samawati wal ard, the light of the heavens and the earth, is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who brings these things into existence and thus makes them visible. So whatever is visible to us in the heavens and in the earth, that which we can see with the naked eye and that which we discover by exploration, Allah is the one who brings it to our visibility. He brings it to our vision. This is one aspect of the Nur of Allah. He makes everything visible to us. The other aspect of Nurus Samawati wal Ard is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who has beautified the heavens and the earth. Muzayyinus Samawati wal Ard. He brings beauty to everything that exists. And everything gets its beauty from Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the source of all beauty. So look at how He adorns the heavens with all of these beautiful stars, constellations, and the various celestial bodies. And look at how He adorns the earth with vegetation, trees, and all of the beautiful things that make this earth, just looking at it, so appealing and so amazing. Then there is another meaning of Nur here, and that is the guidance that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings to the heavens and the earth. Now someone might ask, how does Allah guide the heavens and the earth? Allah azza wa jal states, الذي أعطى كل شيء خلقه ثم هداه. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given everything its existence, its physical shape, and He has also guided everything. So everything that exists in this earth has a specific type of guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These are the instructions that it gets from Allah to carry out the function for which it has been created. For example, the sun has specific orders from Allah Based on those orders, the sun rises in a certain way, sets in a certain way, with very specific timings, and is giving off certain types of benefits to the universe in terms of light and warmth and many other things. It is doing this based on a guidance, a set of instructions that it has from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Similar is the case with the moon. Similar is the case with the planet Earth and all the other planets. Similar is the case with the bodies of water, the cycles of life that occur. Life in the animal kingdom, in the kingdom of plants, in the kingdom of the oceans and seas. All of this is happening with very specific and precise instructions given directly by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So everything has its guidance. أَعْطَى كُلَّ شَيْءٍ خَلْقَهُ ثُمَّ هَدَى. And everything follows the guidance that it has received from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It does not deviate from that. Now, moving one step beyond that, the guidance that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made available to the human being, this is a part of that guidance that He has given to the whole universe. So when we talk about divine revelation, which was granted to human beings and jinns, this is a part of that guidance, those instructions, those systems that Allah has laid out for the universe. It could not be imagined that Allah has a set of instructions and systems for everything in the universe except for the human being. The only difference is that the human being has a choice. Other creations don't have a choice. The sun doesn't have a choice. It was created and it is obliged to follow the instructions given to it by Allah. It does not know how to function any other way. It cannot rebel against Allah's command. It cannot rise before or after its appointed time. Human beings, though, have what is called the power of volition. They have the power to choose, the ability to choose whether they want to follow those instructions or not. And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to judge human beings and not other makhluqat. So, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives guidance. Now, مَثَلُ نُورِهِ, the example of His nur. Which nur are we talking about here? Because we've covered various aspects. Here specifically, as per the tafsir of Abdullah ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhu, the example that is being given of nur relates to the nur of guidance as it pertains to the heart of a believer. The example of His guidance, of His nur in the heart of a believer is as follows. مَثَلُ نُورِهِ أي في قلب المؤمن كمشكاة فيها مصباح. There is a niche. A niche is a section cut out into a wall where a lantern is placed. It's usually in the corner where two walls meet. And these niches were constructed strategically so that they provide the maximum amount of illumination and light to the area. And all of the light would be collected in that niche. And the niche was simply a carefully cut out section of the wall in which a lantern would be placed. This niche is the chest of the believer. This is the mishkah, that carved out, etched out little shelf, if you will, in the corner of the wall. كَمِشْكَاتٍ فِيهَا مِصْبَاحٍ. Within this niche is placed a lantern. The lantern is not just sitting there on this ledge by itself, but the lantern rather is encased in a glass. Al-misbahu fi zujaja. And this is no ordinary glass. Az-zujajatu ka'annaha kawkabun durri. This glass is like the finest crystal. It is bright and sparkling like a gleaming star. So bright. So you can imagine this crystal clear glass has a light and a sparkle of its own. Add to it the fact that a lantern is placed inside. This is the heart of the Muslim. Now, the lantern is lit with a wick. The lantern has a wick, and there is oil in which this wick is immersed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, this is no ordinary oil that's being used to light this lantern. Rather, it is the purest oil of a blessed and pure plant. So, يُوقَدُ مِن شَجَرَةٍ مُبَارَكَةٍ. The oil here is from a blessed plant, a blessed tree. What is it? Zaytuna. It is the olive tree. And this is no ordinary olive tree. لا شرقية ولا غربية. If the tree grows on the eastern side of a hill, then it only gets access to the sunlight when the sun is rising. But the moment the sun reaches its zenith and starts declining, this plant is unable to derive sunlight. If the plant was on the western side of the hill, then it would only have access to sunlight after the sun has declined, but for the first half of the day, it would be deprived of the sunlight. But this plant is in an open area in which there is no barrier, no physical barrier, preventing the sunlight from enriching and nourishing this plant throughout the entire cycle of the day. So it's la sharqiyya wa la gharbiyya. It benefits from the sunlight the whole day. Now, a plant that benefits from the sun the entire day is going to be richer than the plant that only gets sunlight half of the day. So this is that plant. It has been well nourished by the elements. It's already mubarak. It's already a blessed plant, a blessed fruit. And this is a very well nourished plant. And its oil is so powerful, يَكَادُ زَيْتُهَا يُضِيءُ وَلَوْ لَمْ تَمْسَسْهُ نَارٌ. When that oil is cold pressed, and it is the first press in which there is nothing else mixed, the oil comes out pure, shining. This oil has its own gleam and its own shine to it. It's as if it's giving off light even before the flame touches it. This is the pure nature of this believer. Their heart is so clean, so pure, that even before the message of wahi enters into it, it's already receptive. It already recognizes its creator. It's already attached to its creator. وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَا إِبْرَاهِيمَ رُشْدَهُ مِنْ قَبْلِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had already enlightened the heart of Ibrahim alayhi salam even before he received nubuwah. This is the heart of the believer that has removed all obstacles, all impurities. It's not a part-time commitment that only half of the day it's benefiting from the treasures Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has placed around, the treasures of guidance. It's always receptive. It's always taking directly from its creator. This is that heart which has been cleansed and purified and nurtured and nourished and strengthened to the point where it doesn't need much to spark up. Now, imagine once the spark is added, imagine once it's lit, how much power is in this. So powerful that shaitan cannot come close. Shaitan is afraid of this heart. The nur inside this heart is too powerful. The guidance within this heart is overwhelming. Shaitan will think twice before trying to come and tamper with this heart. This is that heart that has been cleansed. It has connected with its creator. So there is nurun ala nur. There's not one radiance here. Everything within this heart is radiant. The oil has its own radiance and shine. The lantern has its own light. The glass that it is encased in is also bright and shining. And the niche, once this lantern is placed in that niche collects all of this light and becomes a focal point of light. That light is not restricted to that corner, rather this corner now bounces light all around. In one of the examples that we gave from the Qur'an, وَجَعَلْنَا لَهُ نُورًا يَمْشِي بِهِ فِي النَّاسِ. This heart does not just stay enlightened within itself, it spreads light wherever it goes. Wherever this believer goes, they share that light in that environment, in those surroundings. Our Prophet ﷺ was called Sirajam Munira. Inna arsalnaka shahidan wa mubashiran wa nadhira wa da'iyan ila Allah bi'idhnihi wa sirajam munira. He was also called a lantern because with one lantern many candles can be lit, many other lamps and lanterns can be lit. Through this one heart, many other hearts come to life. Guidance spreads through this. This is the example of the nur of hidayat once it comes into the heart of the believer. And this is only achieved by those whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guides. Yahdillahu li nurihi man yasha. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guides to this nur whom He wants. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala choose us to be from those that He guides. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make our hearts those that are filled with this divine guidance, so that our darknesses can be shed and cast away and replaced with the light of divine revelation and divine guidance. And may we be able to navigate our ways through the tricky roads and steps of this life, and may we also become an illuminating force, a radiating light for the rest of mankind. وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين.